Hey,
How's it going?
good. How you doing? Good. Come on over.
Good.
Everything's good.
Good. How about yourself?
Yeah.
It's funny, when I have the 6 o'clock appointment, I'm always here like time to spare. Right? When I book it later, I almost always end up late. Somehow I'm at my
You
house
made
and
it.
I'm like, oh man, I gotta go.
All right. Sticking with the same.
Yeah, we'll do my usual mid-zero fade. We usually fade the beard down a little low. Usually go like a 1 and 2 and 2. Sometimes we leave a little extra on the top, but whatever looks good.
Two mostly in here and then faded
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys aren't
Good.
doing hair transplants yet.
No, I need one too. I'm just gonna go short.
Yeah.
Yeah. No hair
My
transplants.
plan is to just not see the back of my head in the mirror whenever possible.
Happens to the best of us, man.
Yeah, what can you do? You can't fight it. You see people fighting it. I mean, if you're loaded, you can fight it, but my body.
Yeah. Sometimes though it looks too obvious.
Yeah, those
You know?
transplants especially look a little wonky
Yeah.
sometimes.
A little bit more than wonky, I think.
Yeah.
This is trying too hard.
Right.
Okay, come back. Right. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the all natural.
Sometimes you see those old guys around town and like you can tell they've been wearing the same robe for like 30 years, and it starts to look more like a hat than hair.
It's a dead squirrel.
Right?
Yeah, I think the girls get away with that, the artificial stuff a
Yeah.
lot more than the guys. They
Oh,
just,
for sure, yeah.
oh well.
Yeah, what can you do,
Work's going good?
Yeah, work is good. That job, I swear, has like changed my whole life.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great. I'm a little bit obsessed with the job. I find myself thinking about it when I'm not there. I'm like excited to go back when it's my time to go back. I let my vacation time pile up and don't care. It's amazing.
Pretty good how that works out.
It is. The funny thing is, like, when I worked retail, nobody wants to hate their job. You know what I mean? Like, so you spend a lot of time convincing yourself you don't hate it. Then you get a job you don't hate, and you're like, oh my god, did I hate my job for 20 years? But I like to think I didn't hate it. I miss people. I don't miss the job, but I miss people from the job. But the good thing is now when we need to hire somebody, we just pick and choose from the best people we've worked with in town. It's just like, hey, you want to get out of Walgreens? You do? Great, you're hired. Which is way better than hiring people off the street.
For sure.
Yeah.
At least they got some sort of history,
Yeah.
worked with them before.
Absolutely. And I feel like retail is like the big separator, you know what I mean? Like, we hired these two kids, they've been working for Walgreens for 10 years. I'm like, man, if you can handle that job for 10 years, you can pretty much handle anything.
This feels okay on the skin?
Yeah, no problem. I get all red, it's all good, no worries.
Yeah, I kind of had a flashback of working for someone else, like a dream or something. And
Right.
I was thinking, man, I got it pretty good here. I don't have to deal with too much drama ever.
Right. Yeah, it's tough working for people. It really is.
Just everybody's got their own kind of deal. And
That's for sure. Yeah, I've worked with so many bosses over the years that like occasionally I would catch like a really, really bad boss and I just wouldn't see him coming, you know what I mean? And just like shocked by that person. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell's going on with this person? I had a boss once that I ran into. I was at the South Point. This is kind of a funny story. When my kids were little, my wife and I would sometimes take a night at a hotel to like just go and like watch movies in the room and sleep and just kind of relax. You know?
oh yeah,
It was usually me. Sometimes it was her, but a lot of times it was me. So one night I'm at the South Point and I'm just doing my thing, watching movies. I get up the next morning and I'm just in my grubby clothes. I go down to the coffee shop they got there, and my store manager is next to me at the coffee shop. And I'm like, oh, what are you
Hey.
doing here? And I look around and I see all these Walgreens people. And I realize that I'm at the Walgreens annual meeting that I had every intention of not going to because, who the hell wants to go to that? And I'm there. And I'm in my grubby clothes.
And you're there.
Right, and I can't exactly leave. So then, the lady sees that I'm surprised and they have to explain to me this annual meeting that I have to go to all day long. And the lady's like, well, what were you doing here if you're not here for the meeting? And I'm like, oh, I'm here to watch movies and hang out. And that lady proceeded to tell everybody she knew and everybody I knew that my wife was leaving to get divorced. And I had like my buddy like, oh man, are you okay? I hear you're getting divorced. Like, wait, what? I am?
News to me.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's fun. Yeah, that was funny. Only me from accidentally going to a meeting I had no intention of going to.
Yeah, John and I used to do that quite a bit before we had animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd take a cruise and never come out of the room.
Yeah.
One time 3 or 4 day cruise, and when we lived in Florida, we pretty much slept the whole time.
Yeah.
Went to the gym, slept, and watched TV, and we got a room with an inside room because I didn't want to have any daylight showing up.
Right.
Yeah, it's a cheap room, and it was nice because you just black everything up, the lights and everything was completely blacked out. We had no window at all.
Right. Smart. You're probably like the only one doing that cruise, right? Everybody else is like eating themselves to death, drinking themselves to death.
Yeah. I think we binge watched, I remember we binge watched Entourage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Entourage is awesome.
I think we had 1 or 2 seasons we just watched one right after the other.
Yeah, I always like that.
Yeah, it was cool. Donna's in Buffalo this week, so I'm working by myself.
Yeah.
Got scheduled breaks to go home and let the dogs out.
Yeah.
Feed them this morning. Do 2 haircuts and go home and come back and do a couple more.
Yeah, I booked a haircut with Donna in July, like before I'm driving across the country. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm gonna see people I haven't seen in 20 years. And might as well get that haircut fresh right before I go, you know?
Right.
So I booked her on July 9th in the afternoon. I'm almost never an afternoon guy, but...
Yeah, I'm up in Washington that week.
Yep, I saw... Well, I mean, I didn't see you in Washington, but I saw you didn't have appointments. It's all good.
Yeah, gotta go up and see mom again. Taking my dog, taking my camper, and
That's cool.
yeah, taking a few extra days and just
That's awesome. I'm
just
really
kind of
looking
chill.
forward to my road trip. I love to drive. Driving's fun.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, the one thing different I would have done when I bought this car, they have like this stereo option at Volvo that's like maybe the best stereo you can get in production car. It's like amazing. I had a rental once that had it in it, and it was just transformative. The sound was incredible. But it doesn't seem like the most important thing when you buy a car.
Yeah, but
But
still.
man, I liked it. I was trying to work it out, but
You're taking your car. Or you're renting a car.
no, I'm taking my car, the one that's right out
Okay.
there, the wagon. Yeah, I figured I picked up a big crack in the windshield like 3 weeks ago
That's
out
all
on
right.
160.
Nice.
Crack is navigating across the windshield as we speak. Yay. And it figured too, I just had the car all set up the way I wanted. I had the windshield tinted, the whole deal. And whammo, big crack. But the way I see it, I've been lucky. When I was a kid, I remember my parents replacing windshields like, I don't know, 3, 4 times. It's never happened to me, so I was like, well, I'm probably due. Some big
Thanks
truck
a
on
lot.
160 threw a rock right into me, you know?
Yeah, I got Chip and Donna's truck, and it's kind of staying put. And then
Yeah.
my windshield's got about a foot-long crack on the driver's side, but it's down so low. Hasn't been traveling yet, but it will.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of holding off. I keep debating if I'm going to get rid of that truck or not.
Yeah. Boy, I'm
Go
tempted.
back
I
to
wish
a
I,
van.
I'm tempted to get a dash cam before I go.
Yeah, that's on my list. I have one, and I just don't use it. I'm going to
Yeah.
get 2 new ones, one for each one of the trucks.
Have you seen that? What's the thing called? It's called like a wolf mirror. It's like this thing you put over your mirror, and it's like your rear view mirror, your dash cam facing front. You can have a camera in the cab if you want. And
Huh.
like, so if your back is full, like if the back of your car's full of stuff, you still see in the rear view like a screen, you know?
Right.
Pretty cool. But out here, I always feel like anything like that, you leave it in the car, it's gonna cook.
I think they're made to withstand the heat.
Yeah, that's true. Pretty cool little device. And boy, you see a lot of stuff where dash cams can save people's asses too.
Yeah, I know. I've got one. I just took it down.
People catch some crazy footage on their dash cams, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep, it's on my list of things to get this year. Alright.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, I always talk myself into waiting until the tech gets a little better. And then I'm always late to the party, but then by the time I get it, it's like amazing. You know? Took like a mini road trip a few weeks ago. I drove to Chula Vista to see Billy Strings, Bob Dylan, and Willie Nelson.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was amazing. It was awesome. I'm not a Willie Nelson guy.
Outside
but
concert?
yeah, it reminded me of concerts I used to go to as a kid, like this really nice outdoor amphitheater, people sitting on the grass, and little kids dancing and playing. It was really cool. It was very much not.
Bob Dylan made it through the show, huh?
Yeah, I'm a big Dylan fan, so
He's pretty old.
yeah, sounds to me, like, you close your eyes, he sounds like live Dylan from the 70s to me. Which is to say, you know, you can't really understand what he's saying. Probably plays half songs you don't know, you know. Yeah, for sure.
A lot of artists do that.
Yep. I'm always, you know, kind of impressed by that. Like, artists who don't care if you like it, there's something to that, you know? A lot of the bigger guys are like that. Van Morrison's like that. He doesn't care if you like it. But I was really there for Dylan and Billy Strings. I think on Billy Strings, I think was great. Yeah, the concert was good. My hotel was a little scary. Motel 6, a mile away from
Oh,
Tijuana.
nice.
Like a mile from the border. Good.
But that could be interesting.
Yeah, I was a little nervous about that, just because I have a terrible sense of direction and I get lost all the time. And I was like, I don't want to get lost with the border. That's not good. You end up in the wrong line there, you got problems. You know? It was funny when I was leaving the hotel. I was leaving at like 4 or 5 a.m. You know, getting on the road early. And I was like, I don't know if I should turn in the room key. You know, there's somebody in that office. So I'll go turn in the room key. And I'm nervous because, you know, you're in a stairwell. It's 4 in the morning. You know, it's dodgy. And when I get to the office, I realize that the girl working in the office is terrified of me because I'm like a rando dude at the door at 5 a.m. She opens the door like a crack. And I'm like, oh, I just didn't know if I should turn the card in. She takes the card. She's like, all right, bye. Closes and locks the door. I was like, oh, this poor kid's terrified of me. And so she should be. Yeah, not me, but, you know, any random guy at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
A mile from Tijuana. I could see how that would give you angst.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, look down just a minute. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the road trip too. Yeah, that's cool. Just being able to have my camper behind me and being able to just pull off whenever I want.
Yeah, that's cool.
Chill out for a bit.
I was thinking on the way I might crash at a rest stop or two instead of getting a motel here or there, you know, crash for some hours.
You won't be alone. I mean, there's, you know, safety in numbers.
Yeah.
That's why I like that rest stop. You know you're gonna probably get a random creeper, you know, or stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Random creeper.
Right? They're out there.
They are, yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of people kind of make me nervous at those places. But also, a lot of people live they're just living in their car nowadays, and that's where they go and park, because you can park usually for 8 to 12 hours at a time. You can even run a generator, because a lot of those truckers, they're running generators, so they usually don't say too much about running a generator. Starting to get into that hot season, so where people want to run their air conditioners.
It's good to have that flexibility, even if sometimes it's just a few hours, just crash out in the back or whatever if you're bottoming out or something.
Yeah, I like it like that, because if I get a Airbnb, which is what I do also quite a bit, but it's just I end up when I get an Airbnb or a hotel room, by the time I'm all wired.
Right.
And it's like I might as well have just kept on going. So it's difficult for me to, plan out a stop and then get there and just be able to. So when I do that, I usually plan on checking in 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and just, not driving as far that day. Just kind of chilling until I fall asleep. Tends to work.
Yeah, I started looking at those like roto-molded coolers, like those Yeti cooler type deals and stuff. Oh, that could be good.
Don't do that to me this morning. Power don't go out.
Yeah.
Went out last week.
Did it?
Yeah, one of the transformers, a bird transformer blew it out, so we were out of power and air for a couple hours while they fixed it. Okay, go down just a bit right there. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing, because we have three-phase power here, so there's three transformers that power this building. So it came in and half the power was out. I had power out on that wall. Everything else was working, and I blew out that TV.
Weird. It blew out your TV?
Oh, it just did. That one.
Yeah.
That one up there that was on just a little while ago.
Yeah.
Blew it out.
Yeah. Power's usually pretty solid out here too. I've got a big aquarium, so when the power goes out, I panic. I mean, I have some parameters in place. I should have more. Every time the power goes out, I remember that I have this thing that I meant to put in my tank like a million years ago that moves water when the power goes out. No, I really should install that soon. Power goes out like once a year, it seems like.
Oh yeah, you probably should do that.
Yeah.
Is it like a battery backup?
Yeah. It's basically like a pump that I have in the tank to just move water. It's like a battery backup that if the power goes out, it just kicks on that pump on the battery to keep the water moving, keep it oxygenated. But as long as my power's not out for like 12 hours, I'm pretty much alright. But couldn't be prepared.
Yeah, I've got a pretty nice little backup system on my in my camper, but it won't run the air conditioner, so
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Isn't it funny, like, no matter what you're into, whatever hobby, whatever your interest is, it's like the sky's the limit. You look, there's always like some guy on YouTube, like, like a $500,000 setup. Like when you see those like camper vans and stuff, those overland vehicles that people go all in on,
Absolutely, yeah.
they're incredible. People spending big money on those things too.
Big money.
Yeah.
Can.
I used to work with a guy who had an RV that was worth more than my house. It's like, holy mackerel. It was like, he had all kinds of stuff. He had hardwood floors and the thing. It was like full tilt.
Multi-million-dollar RVs is not in the cards for me.
Yeah, me either.
If I won the lotto or something,
Yeah.
I still don't even know if I'd spend that kind of money on an RV. I've just learned that the bigger the RV, the bigger the pain in the ass to find a place to park. So
Yeah.
I like the small, stealthy.
Yeah, I like those little mini ones. They look cool. I'm
Yeah.
terrible at driving anything big too. I've just driven cars my whole life. I drove my buddy's like Ford Expedition once and got like he parked it at the airport. And he flew back east, got arrested, went to jail. He calls me like, "Hey, my car's at the airport." Oh,
Yeah.
alright. Boy, driving that thing, like when I'm used to driving cars, that thing felt like driving a school bus.
My neighbor back in Washington, they've got a school bus that they've been converting into a camper, and now they've kind of got to the point where they don't want to mess with it anymore, so keep telling me they want to get rid of it, but it's just too long. If it was a short bus,
Right.
like I said, the bigger the vehicle, the harder it is to find a place to park, man.
Yeah, my kids laugh at me. I'm like the worst parker ever. When I'm just driving a car, I'm lousy at parking. My son was like, "How can you never back into a space?" It's like, I don't think I've backed into a space in 30 years.
I'd take a short school bus though. It was built like on a van
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work really well.
Then you can see you drive a short bus.
Yep, I ride a short bus. kinds of projects going on up in Washington. A new deck being put on my mom's house, the whole thing being painted on
Wow.
the inside. New floors in the kitchen, new floors in the bathroom, new shower in the bathroom. Put about 30 grand into it just to turn around and sell it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's cool. Should pay off. That kind of stuff usually does, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Or she'll change her mind and want to stay living there because it's so nice and new,
Right.
which is fine as well. She wants to do that. And once she sells that, I'm gonna order up a new house for the front property that she has. Get that put on there and start that whole process. We're a little behind because I thought we had the house sold to the handyman guy that we have. So we stopped all the improvements because he had a different vision and he wanted to buy it. So we held off on doing all that stuff, and then that didn't work out. So
Yeah.
yeah, that looks good. So
Those are big projects. That's cool. That's exciting.
yeah. Things are coming together for me. Glad when it's all said and done. Because every time I got a little break, I can't really go do what I want to do. I gotta go up there.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of over that. Been going up there every couple of months for the last 5, 6 years. And my dad started off with my dad being sick and him dying.
Yeah, that's a lot. That stuff for sure. Sucks that our parents get old, doesn't it?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at people my age. I know I look a lot older, but I'm seeing people, and I still don't watch a whole lot of movies.
Yeah.
I just started really kind of getting into Netflix again. We're watching this show. Oh God, and I can't believe I'm watching Robert De Niro because he's just a douchebag. But I'm watching this Netflix show with him in it, and I forget the name of it. He's a former president.
Oh yeah, I don't know the name, but I know what you're talking about though.
And there's a dude in there, I forget his name, who's an 80s child actor, or teenage actor.
Right.
And I'm like, God, he's all gray haired. He looks really old.
Yeah.
He's the Speaker of the House, or the former Speaker
Yep.
in this show. Yeah, he looks so old. My God, I remember. I can't remember the name of the movies that he was in.
Yeah.
Those little 80s movies.
People are getting old, that's for sure. People are getting up there. I was trying to talk my dad into going to see The Who with me at MGM. I'm like, Dad, we should go see The Who. He looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, it's their last tour. He's like, oh God, who cares?
The last tour ever.
I'm like, but it's The Who. Last chance to see The Who.
Fades are nice. Nice.
Always looks good. There's artistry in that fade, man. I love it.
Ah, for sure.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I finally got tired of mine. My beard, cut it down. Feels so good. Come over the long beard for a while. Gonna probably keep it short for a good amount of time, not let it grow out. It kind of creeps up on me. I'm 29, I've got a big ass beard again. I passed my prostate MRI.
Good.
Yeah. My score was 2 on that out of 5. When it's a 1 or a 2, they say cancer is unlikely. You know, and I always know, they don't say this, but I say at this time.
Right.
You know.
Prostate cancer is one of those weird things. Like in theory, if we all lived to be 130, we'd all get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, my PSA was pretty high, but it got up to a 7.1, a low 4, and but still, that's not even a complete indicator. It's an indicator of something.
Yeah.
But then suddenly I got nothing wrong with nothing growing on the outside of my prostate. Or whatever they scanned in there, it looked good. I get a break until Thanksgiving time, and I gotta start the process over.
Right. At least it's an MRI, though. That's good. You know.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's not
it's
like
not definitive until I get a PSA, or not a but a biopsy. But if my PIRAD score keeps coming back at a 2, then my numbers don't jump up any higher. My PSA numbers don't jump up any higher. If they stay where it's at, it went like from a 2 to a 6.8 to 7.1, and now it's back down to 6.8. So a couple more months, I'll do another one.
Yeah. It's good that you're on top of it. That's half the battle.
Yeah, I don't want to let it get out of hand, but I also don't want to be messing around with. I don't want to have my prostate taken out. It's all kinds of crazy side effects. Even with the, doing the radiation instead is still pretty bad side effects. I got pretty high testosterone, so that's a fuel for cancer.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I have to have anything done, then I'm going to definitely look at my 800, 900.
That's fantastic, though.
Yeah, I mean, but then I'm going to have to end up taking ADT, get it down, whatever it is.
Right.
And I was looking at that medication, and I got insurance and stuff, but shit, it's like 14, 15 grand a month for some of that medication for the hormone therapy for prostate. Jesus, well, that's the last thing I need.
Yeah.
But
my test always ran in the bottom part of normal, in the 300s. Because guys run anywhere from 300 to 1100. 11 being the way top end.
Yeah.
But now the way I manage it, I just keep it right around 8 all the time. Oh my God.
You're taking TRT?
Yeah. I've been doing it for years. I started it, and when I started it, I was a little gung ho, and I was doing it wrong, and when the doctors start you out the doses that they let you take, I was doing 200 milligrams right into my muscle every 2 weeks. And
getting a pump.
That's basically like a cycle of steroids almost. Like that, it changes your body. It was amazing. But and then your hemoglobin goes sky high and you start to look red all the time. You see those guys out there, the big muscly guys in their 50s that are red all the time.
Yeah.
And but I got a better handle on it. I got spooked because I had to start donating blood all the time to get my And I was alright with that, and then a couple of times I fell out at a blood place, and I was like, oh, this sucks, I gotta stop. So then I tried to stop, and sometimes you can stop and your test will come back. But I stopped, I got all doughy, I felt like shit. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work. But now I just figured out a better way. Instead of those big doses, I'm doing like little tiny doses, like sub-Q, almost like insulin shots, So
Mm-hmm.
instead of every 2 weeks, you do it like every 3 days.
At a lesser level.
Yeah, which much less, which works way better. But gosh, what a difference! What a difference! I'm like, man, these guys walk around their whole life with testosterone at this level. I've been missing out.
See, I don't get those because I guess it's because it's natural. I don't get,
Yeah.
you know.
You'd know it if something dropped your test to 300, boy. You just feel like depleted.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how I found out. I just see, I figured at my age I'm probably low,
Right.
and she's like, I can't give you,
Yep.
I can't give you your. I was at like almost 900,
Yeah,
over
that's
900.
fantastic.
And I want to say the last one I was in the mid eights.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
great.
to be natural like that, that's
Yeah, that's big.
that's.
For me to get to that level, I'm gonna injections 3 times a week. I'm taking anti-estrogen pills. Like Letrozole. You do that because you do the test wrong, and you grow boobs and weird stuff like that because your body responds to.
I don't need that.
Yeah, exactly.
That looks good.
Yeah, it looks great, man. Always does. Yeah, it looks good. It's funny too when I was doing the shots less often. It was crazy on your mental health when your testosterone and hormone levels are all over the place like that. Yeah, it's super weird. Like, because basically, when I was doing it every 2 weeks, you do the shot, you feel like Superman. And then when you're due for the next shot, you feel like you're gonna die.
Right before you take it.
Right, exactly. And like your estrogen levels are all over the place. I'd be watching like a kid movie with my kid, I'd start crying. I'd be like, whoa.
Big puss.
Right. I'm like, what the hell's happening?
Oh man.
Stallion of a Cimarron, I'm crying over here. Yeah.
Okay, just tap it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, man.